league games, something like 30 more than Yeovil. So it remains to be seen whether they will be very much hot or cold this evening. Going forward straight away, and here's an instant shot first time, which is just from the edge of the penalty area, and it whistles past Jed Ward's angle of post and crossbar. It's from James Henry, and he's had a really good career, spent a long time at Oxford before coming to Aldershot, but that was a first warning for Yeovil inside 30 seconds.
I actually missed it, to be honest. Ian, I saw something I haven't seen in years. The ref was holding play up for the start, so all the boys were just stood around watching. I was writing some notes, and I looked up, and 16 seconds in, nearly missed it. But should be an interesting game tonight. In actual fact, it's eerily similar to the away game. Dead still night, nice calm weather. So hopefully it brings more of the same when we triumph there and score 4 goals. Yeah, 4-1 it was in the reverse fixture. And here is Patton, halfway inside the Yeovil half. A run ahead of him being made, and the cross has gone off a defender. And Aldershot very much on the front foot in these opening moments. And it will be Henry who will go across to take the corner on the Aldershot right. They're playing on the 4G at Tamworth at the weekend, when Charlie Warren, the top scorer, in terms of recent form anyway, 6 goals in 8 games, got the equaliser, but he's not involved tonight, so we assume an injury. Here's Henry's corner, headed away by Yeovil and worked back by Meerholtz to Ollie Scott, diminutive left back, hangs the cross into the penalty area on the far side. Aldershot run it across into the 6-yard box low, and Yeovil clear, but they're being pinned in, Josh, at the moment. Yeah, it's a really good start from Aldershot, to be fair, because there was a lot of energy and positivity around the place after a good point on Saturday, and I think the boys would have really been looking to get off to a good start, and so far we've not been able to leave the half. It's a really positive start from Aldershot, to be fair to them, and a couple of sloppy defensive errors, and we just got to hold on for a couple of minutes, really.
Yeovil defending the Thatcher's end in this first period. That header's up in the air rather than away. It'll dribble out towards the corner flag, and it'll be let go for another potential long throw from that Bradford stand side of the ground. Again, Patton right on the edge of the 6-yard area. Other players towards the front post. Aldershot, though, don't win the first ball. Yeovil clear up towards the halfway line. Scott wants a runner on the left-hand side here. Good turn. Brody Peart getting involved, and Yeovil with a skewed clearance from Greenslade, being chased on this left-hand side. That will be an Aldershot ball.
Is it? Yes, it's been a really good start. Again, I think we just need to disrupt a bit of play here. We could do winning a couple of little free kicks. There's been a couple of opportunities there for the boys just to kind of feel a bit of contact, because
Inwood takes the throw short. Scott, low ball into the penalty area. Meerholtz. Inwood is the centre back, but he's wide on the left at the moment. Scott's got 3 in green ahead of him. Not the worst cross in, but 2 straight for Jed Ward, who came and gathered, and he might be able to get Yeovil up the pitch here. Here's Mafiko.
Yeah, good take from Jed. He come well there. Just took a bit of pressure off the boys. Been a lot of box entries in the first 5 minutes here.
Diagonal from Skura, looking for a break from Works on the left, but that's gone just behind him. He got his body a bit in the wrong position there. And Aldershot playing 4 at the back with a couple of low knees, and that's back from Inwood to Boyce Clark, the Dreadlocks goalkeeper. Hargreaves forward looking for Patton. Was that ball out of play? That's what the crowd on the far side I think were intimating. But Aldershot have pinched possession back once more. Inside looking for James Henry. They can't find him, and McCormick brings the ball away for Yeovil. He's going square, and that's not the best ball to Daly, and Daly in turn has given it away. Aldershot have it back, and they're swarming forward on the right hand side. Can that be kept in play? It can. Can Hill get a cross in? No, it'll be blocked. Mafiko's right in the left corner flag in the left back position, and Yeovil at the moment struggling to get any possession or position up the pitch, and they might do so now because Aldershot have played it out for a throw.
Yeah, we just need to slow the game down a little bit. I know we're at home and we want to start bright, but we've kind of they're right on the front foot and they're putting us right under real pressure, and we just keep turning the ball over every time we got a chance. We're feeling their pressure at the moment, so it's a good opportunity for us to calm the game down a bit.
And Harvey Greenstade playing through the middle tonight. If you didn't hear Billy Rowley's interview before the game, he said Greenstade has been asking if to play through the middle, so here's an opportunity for him with Jarvis suspended and Campbell on the bench tonight. Obviously Yeovil have a long trip on Saturday up to Carlisle, which will probably mean a Friday journey and an overnight, so with matches coming at you regularly at the moment, midweek and Saturdays, it's a bit of managing the minutes. Here's Patton, nice ball inside the penalty area, cut back. Scott will come onto it and he'll drive it low and it's into the corner. My word, he struck that well. The fullback coming into space 25 yards out, and it was a daisy cutter into Jed Ward's bottom left hand corner. We've had 6.5 minutes, and even now you could say it's been coming because Aldershot have been so dominant in the opening stages. It's Yeovil 0, Aldershot 1.
What a great goal from top to bottom there, really. It's all come from the centre half, 20 yards inside his own half, and you can't say they haven't deserved it on the balance of playing the first 6 minutes. And to be honest, it's one of the best starts of a football match I've seen in a long time. It's fair credit where it's due to Aldershot. I think we've kind of got to use a bit of game management here. We haven't really, I don't think there's a shame in going longer. I think we had opportunities. Jed probably had an opportunity to squeeze us up the pitch and play a little bit higher in there in half. We've kind of just invited pressure on, and fair play to them. They've put their foot right on our throat, and what a great strike, brilliant cutback, brilliant football to get there, and then the final piece of the jigsaw was a fantastic strike from the fullback.
Well, they've been on a good little run lately, 3 wins and a draw in their last 4, and that has shown in the way they've started at the moment. They're 19th in the table at the start of play, but they haven't looked like a side that are 19th for sure.
No, and hopefully as the game goes on, we'll see their biggest strength could be their biggest weakness, I think, the way they play. But I think we've got to keep frustrations at relatively low right now. It's only 10 minutes into the game. I think we've just got to find a way to move a few more bodies up the top end of the pitch, because when we're being forced to go longer, Harvey looks a very isolated figure up there, and I think if we are going to go longer, we've got to squeeze players up round him and land on seconds and do that ugly side of the game for the first 5-10 minutes and get a footing in the game, because so far 8 minutes in there's been no territory, no passes. Aldershot haven't allowed Yeovil to sink into the game.
Well, the derision you heard was for a free kick given against Yeovil, and then Kanai Boyce-Clark has just contrived to play a ball straight out of play from a free kick situation inside his own half. That was badly hooked.
Yeah, I think he had a look at the turf, so probably as goalkeepers do, he'll blame other things, but it was just one of those, I think, bad connection.
He's just drifted out of play on this near side for a throw, Aldershot throw, inside their own half. The goal in the 7th minute from Ollie Scott.
Yeah, obviously Aldershot without Warren today, aren't they, who's scored a lot of goals for them. So, but they've shown, as we've seen in the first 10 minutes, there's plenty of opportunities to score in other areas of the pitch, and so far they look a very dangerous proposition, and a complete opposite to the Aldershot we saw in October time, or whenever we played them away from home, where they were wide open at the back, and it looks like a completely different team tonight.
Well, obviously both teams have changed the manager since then. Greenstade chasing a long ball through the middle here, and Boyce-Clark thunders it into touch. That was the safest place to put it.
Yeah, nearly a nice touch on the sideline there. I think he saved his son's face, but
the gentleman downstairs down at the front in a bobble hat, just about managed to prevent that ball slapping into the side of his young boy.
Yeah, and he's giving him a nice fatherly hug now, looking over him, and he'll be giving him a high five later, as some will, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, defending the Thatcher's End in the first half, but they trail already by a 1-0. Here's Cousin Dawson with the throw-in down the touchline, halfway inside the Aldershot half. Ball headed away, but it almost looks as if there's more red shirts on the pitch than green at the moment. That's the way Aldershot have conducted themselves in these opening stages. That's not the case, by the way. It is still 11 against 11. Greenslade. Daly has had no space at all on this right flank and no possession of any quality either.
No, I completely agree with Ian. The way they're making the pitch look very, very small when they haven't got it, and then as soon as they win it, the transition to making it big and expansive is really, really impressive.
Meerholtz away. Gandour. Back to Meerholtz again. Was there a trip there? The referee says there was. It was innocuous at the challenge from James Daly, but referee Massey Lewis saw it as an infringement. Aldershot, of course, previously managed by Tommy Widrington. He left the club to go back to Eastbourne in the National League South, who are down the bottom of that table. And in his place, the vastly knowledgeable John Coleman, best known for his 2 spells at Accrington. And Boyce Clark again goes long with the free kick. That's too deep once more, and again it's gone straight out. Yeah,
a little bit of a better area for him this time. At least it's Aldershot got the opportunity to pin us into the bottom corner, but 2 strikes now he won't be happy with.
So are they trying to get a clearing header on a long throw?
Yeah,
do you think?
I don't really know what I don't know if that was intentional, but so far that was very Rugby World Cup-esque kick in for touch down near the 5 metre line.
Hargreaves. That's good turn from Cousin Dawson. He's got a tight area to work in, and McCormick's ball upfield again. Sees Aldershot pinch the possession. It's clipped forward into a good area for Gandour, just inside the penalty box. Back to Henry. He will try and turn, and he's lost possession. Oh, there was a foul off.
I think the ref's got to he's got away with one there. He just over dribbled it.
It's a free kick given Aldershot's way. He might have said there was no advantage there, but to me that was a genuine challenge, and Henry just lost the ball on a heavy touch.
Yeah, I think he's called it back for advantage. It kind of took a little bobble, and I think it made it look like he got tripped, but I don't think he did. But it shows the importance so far in the first 10 minutes how Aldershot are not turning down the opportunity to turn the ball forward as fast as possible, and I think that's kind of a bit of a dying trait. And I heard Billy say in the build up to the game that he reminds me of a 90s Premier League team, and I think that can be taken as a positive in some ways, because they're definitely not turning the opportunity down to go forward, and that's 3 times they've made real good chances out of just simply putting the ball behind the other team. And
there will be quite a reaction if Henry or Peart, who's now trotting away, pops it into the top corner. He goes round the wall, and Ward gets just enough on it to push it wide for a corner kick. That was not his most convincing save. He got enough on it, but he would expect him to have caught that.
Yeah, and I think Jed Ward's in more than enough credit, so I don't need to jump on his back over the first 6-7 months of the season. So he's got away with one, and I'm sure he'll be a bit disappointed with that, but his standards are so high, another goal he might have just pushed out for a corner anyway, whereas he's trying to catch it. No, he won't get any complaints from me.
Yeah, we'll have everybody back, almost everybody inside their own 6-yard box actually, bar 2 players, and nobody outside the box whatsoever. Henry's corner is whipped in towards the near post and volleyed away by Daly, who almost wins the 50-50 as Yeovil will try and clear the lines, but again it's gone up to the centre circle, and there's only red and blue shirts there, so it's free possession for Aldershot, which comes from the left to Nightingale and then to Gandour, who's going to try and get to the byline, and he will force
a throw.
A throw, but that would almost be as good as a corner, because they've been hurling long throws in from the far side of the field through Sam Inwood, and he's now coming to this near side to hurl one in from our commentary side of the ground, with the Thatcher's end to our left. Inwood's a tall man. He would normally be in the box, but he hurls it right to the front post, and Ward actually comes and gathers it above everybody else and then clears quickly up towards the halfway line. But again, Greenslade is the only player chasing it, and he's given away a cheap foul, and there was always going to be a foul there, right in front of the assistant on this near touch line. Yeah, I think that was enthusiasm ruling common sense, I think.
I think that's a bit of naivety on a young team's part there. That's you've 14 minutes into a game, you haven't really had any possession, any territory, and you've got an opportunity, and the first thing you do is turn the ball straight back over, and we're giving Aldershot another chance to put it back onto our back line, and they're feeding off that at the moment. They're feeding off opportunities, and it's obviously a tactic, isn't it, to try and drive it I mean, we look in disarray a little bit at the back at the moment. I think the start of the game's caught us off guard and we're kind of getting away with a few little mistakes, but we've got to try and gain some composure, and I think we've got to push a few more bodies back higher up the pitch.
Short from Jed Ward, very risky. He's got away with it because Aldershot pressing high up the pitch, and in the end Yeovil get a decision from the referee with a free kick in the left back position. BBC Radio Bristol and BBC Radio Somerset, 95.5 FM, 714 on your Freeview box if you're listening through your television, and also on BBC Sounds. Yeovil 0, Aldershot 1 at the moment. The goal from Ollie Scott in the 7th minute. It was a good hit, to be fair. Low, right in the corner. Jed Ward at full stretch couldn't reach it, but there was a lot of space for Scott to run into. Probably 20, 22, 24 yards outside the Yeovil penalty area inside left channel. Here is Works, who's hardly seen the ball at all and loses it here. And Aldershot go. Well, they would have gone direct had that been a decent pass from Nightingale, but it wasn't. It's gone onto the roof of the stand on the far side.
Yeah, we
need another ball.
We're in a bit of a pickle here, really, because the way they're pressing, they're kind of locking on man for man all over the pitch, and whilst it's exciting to try and break it through 1v1, it almost entices us to try and drive it forward and go over the top, but we've not really built at the top end of the pitch for any sort of physicality, any sort of fight without Jarve or Campbell. So it's going to be an interesting matchup, and the players are going to have a lot of bravery to keep getting on the ball in very, very tight areas if Aldershot continue to press like this.
Josh Staunton with us on commentary tonight, obviously now involved with the under-19s here at Yeovil. And here are Aldershot playing right to left in the first half, down the right flank looking for Patton. He's tight to the far touchline, tries to switch it to Hargreaves, almost in front of the home dugout, as you were, and he'll get a throw in. Rob Massielis, the referee, is not endearing himself at the moment to the Yeovil spectators. He's not given many decisions Yeovil's way at the moment. They've got to change the picture a little bit for the referee here, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's very easy when it's like this to feel like everyone's against you when you've started on the back foot, but
Daly losing out to Ollie Scott inside his own half. Gandor on the edge of the penalty area, cuts it infield. Henry tries to turn and shoot and doesn't. It's parried out by Jed Ward. Nice little drag back from Henry, and Mafiko tries to, through Perrott, give Yeovil some space to play the ball, and in the end, through Declan Scurra, they do come to the midpoint of their own half, but at walking pace he's got to go back to a nice turn by Henry though, and a save that Ward would expect to make in that last phase of play, but he's starting to be alert to it.
Yeah, and it's another box entry, isn't it? I think we can, as we said about the referee, it's very easy to blame everyone else, but very much is a case where architects our own downfall at the moment, and every kind of attack is coming through what we're doing. But I'm really impressed with Aldershot. Even the bravery to press the ball is actually really exciting to watch.
Long ball played towards Perrott, tries to find Greenstay through the middle. He's just seen the ball pinched off him by Inwood, who comes up to this halfway line on the left, feeds the ball infield to Henry. There's a player on the overlap on the right. Henry hasn't seen him. He has now.
What a great pass.
Peart. His cross is blocked, and it will be another long throw opportunity potentially. Inwood trots forward once more, so Yeovil know what's coming here. The centre back making his way to the far side. And another ball to the front edge of the Yeovil 6-yard area.
Yeah, Aldershot looks very, very dynamic, don't they? The way they're committing bodies forward at real pace, and then they all manage to be back there, and that's kind of what you're saying, the feeling of there's an extra man. I think they're just covering every blade of grass really, really well at the moment. So
Inwood with Yeovil again, with everybody back inside their own area towards the front post. Warnell gets his header away. Little dink ball to the corner of the box is cut out, and Yeovil want to break, but that ball's going to drift out of play, I think, for a throw. It is, and Greenslade wanted it played into a different area, and points to where he would have preferred that ball to have gone, which was down an inside right channel. But Inwood's throws don't only help Aldershot at the top end of the pitch, they can help them from halfway as well. So he's going down the line a long way here. Good header from Cousin Dawson, but it's hooked away, and Greenslade and Inwood battle for it on the halfway line. Ball's in the air, and away goes Perrett. Darts past one tackle, but not the second one from Gandor, and there's the ironic cheers as Yeovil get a free kick about 10 yards inside the Aldershot half. First time we've been able to see, and we've played 20 minutes. Those 20 minutes have gone quickly actually, which says it's not a bad game to watch. But this is for the first time Yeovil have got a dead ball situation where McGavin can actually play it forward with some bodies to hit on the edge of the Aldershot penalty area. Here he plays it on the diagonal, looking to the far side of the box. It's nodded down, but too straight, and Boyce Clark comes together.
Yeah, I think we've just got to keep committing to them. Maybe that would have been a better header had someone made a run off him, but got to make the most of those opportunities, because in the first 20 minutes they've been few or far between.
It's a pull back there from Sean Patton. No way that Mafika would have stopped like that without his progress being impeded. So Yeovil playing left to right, defending the Thatcher's end in the first half, but they've had a real struggle in this opening quarter of the game, and the only factor that is it's a small crumb of company is that Aldershot have only scored one at this stage.
Yeah, it's the way they're playing. Aldershot are locking on 1v1, so I think the game plan is kind of Harvey Greenslade is trying to drop in, drag one in, and then one of the two wider 10s is going to run in behind. But so far there's been no real quality on the balls or no real oomph on the runs, so it's been a bit of a non-starter for us here. Certain players we've really struggled to get them in the game, so I think we've got to try and find a way to get Perrett and McCormick in the game a bit more. Those forward boys have just been starved of the ball so far.
Ryan Hill to take the throw on the far touchline. Thought to go down the line and then went back towards his own goal. Nightingale back in the team after missing Saturday. We're experiencing a couple of the players in this Aldershot side. We mentioned James Henry earlier, but Nightingale had 200 games at Wimbledon. You don't do that unless you've got something about you. Lee Scott just showing James Daly down the line here, and a heavy touch from Daly lets the ball go straight out. Aldershot take the throw quickly back to Inwood. He looks up, and they've got four in a line at the top end of the pitch here, Aldershot, and Hill making a run to make it 5. They do get a lot of people forward, but then this is when Yeovil have got to turn the ball over and make it count in a better sense than they have done already. Daly back to Cousin Dawson. Dawson goes back. They take Cousin Dawson back to scorer. Steps out from the back. Perrett closed down.
Yeah, it's a real difference in styles. If you look at our top line compared to their top line, when we have the ball, they're, like as you say, they're squeezing 4 on, trying to engage our back 5, pin us back, whereas we're kind of flirting one up top, one wide, and there's an awful lot of bodies back behind the ball.
Gandor on the halfway line. Nightingale.
So it also means when they win the ball back, there's our bodies are a lot further away from them, whereas they seem to be able to smother us because they're committing so many bodies high up the pitch.
Yeah, that was an overhit ball from back to front. Peart couldn't reach it. Yeovil haven't had a meaningful attempt on goal yet. In fact, they've barely been in the Aldershot half in stringing what you might call a cohesive move together. Works coming in field. And still halfway inside their own half though, Yeovil. And once again, there is Hargreaves, and that was his dad's game, wasn't it? Just tenacity in the midfield, and he follows that. He's just closing down space, making life awkward for Yeovil to play the ball out comfortably. And all they end up with is a throw halfway inside their own half. In the towering Inwood beats the rather shorter figure of Greenslade to his header, so Yeovil have to go back into their own half once more. Mafiko. This will be a different challenge for him today. He's had some impressive games so far in that holding midfield role, but he'd had less time tonight than on other occasions, and Yeovil will have to go back to Jed Ward, who's made one good save already and been beaten by Ollie Scott's low drive after 7 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Ian. From a footballing point of view, I'm actually really enjoying this, because this is like football of old for me. This is a team who every time they get the ball want to score, and they've shown a bit of courage both on and off the ball. And at the moment we can't really get a step into the game because
won't be able to now. Here's Daly, halfway inside the Aldershot half. The ball goes to the left, works corner of the box, steps inside, shoots.
What a goal.
Oh, it's a quarter of an equaliser from Terrell Works. First time Yeovil have had a sight of goal on the edge of the Aldershot penalty area, and that goal every bit as good as Scott's earlier. Top left-hand corner, nothing that Boyce Clark could do about that. Yeovil 1, Aldershot 1.
What a great goal. I think it was Works was out there cutting inside, put it right in the top corner of the goal. He had absolutely no chance of picking that out, and that has come absolutely out of nothing. I think Aldershot will be a bit disappointed because it's come from one long straight ball and they didn't deal with it, and fair play to the boys up the top end of the pitch. They have made them pay for that, and I think that will give this place a real lift, give the players a real lift, and that could be a real turning point in the game here, and that could be a really pivotal moment exactly halfway through the first half, and that could change the dynamic of what happens now. And as we see, their biggest strength has become the weakness in committing bodies, left very few back, and it only takes one bit of magic as Works provided there, and the game looks a completely different complexion. The whole feel of this place has changed now. So 20 minutes left of the half, let's try and finish strong.
I don't sense that it will change the way Aldershot are going to play. I still think they will keep going as they were.
Yeah, I think some would argue if you've conceded 58 goals in a season, I don't think they're ever going to change. So I'm expecting more of the same, and it's going to be that old age. Who's going to outscore who tonight? Because it could be quite an exciting game, and we've got 70 minutes left of 65 minutes left of a thrilling encounter here, I'm sure.
Here's Works then, buoyed by the goal. Good hit it was too, cutting in, onto his right foot, playing on the left, and nicely angled pass, Boyce Clark, right into the side of the net, so it was very well placed. And the Thatchers now finding a little bit more volume to their applause for the team.
Yeah, the atmosphere in here has just come alive, and I think for the next 5 minutes, just test them. Let's try and use this energy. Let's play the ball forward and run forward exactly like we did for that goal, because that's where it's come from.
Long ball down the middle, that's too long. Greenslade won't get that, and it will be go keeper to keeper. I did joke with Josh before the game started, it might be 1-1. That looks a terrible prediction now with an hour still to go.
Yeah, well, if it suddenly goes very, very boring now, we know who to blame, because there's no way with 65 minutes left at this moment in time I'm saying that this ends 1-1.
No.
The way both teams have, especially Aldershot, are throwing hammer and tongue at it, and I think, as you've seen in the last few weeks, we look very, very dangerous on the counter-attack.
Another long throw chance here for Aldershot. They've worked the ball down the right, and James Henry has flicked it off Mafiko, tracking back. So Inwood once again makes his way to the far side of the field. That's the dressing room side. And will they vary it at all? Because there's nobody offering themselves for the short throw, so it really has to be hurled long. Inwood from about 12 yards from the corner flag, gets it to the edge of the 6-yard box. Second header from Yeovil clears the box. Ollie Scott, the goal scorer, 35 yards from goal, tries to spread the ball wide to the left and can't find Gandor, and wins the second tackle himself. And now Gandor does have a chance to perhaps create a crossing opportunity. He and Scott together. Gandor tries to turn it to Meerholt's corner of the area. Gandor once more shoots right-footed. It's foot too far round it, and it's low and wide of the right-hand post and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's got real nice energy about this game now. I think first 20 minutes was pretty hard to get behind for the Yeovil boys, but so far last 5 minutes, just the feel around the place is really exciting. It should be a really good contest from here on in.
And part of that is because the approaches are so different.
Yeah, you can clearly see it every time that the game plan is Harvey drops in and engages a centre half, and the two wider 10s are just going to gamble and go in behind, and I'm sure we're going to see opportunity throughout the game, because it's a big ask going man for man. All it takes is one person to switch off, and chances will come.
Daly didn't play the best ball to Wannell, but he rescued it just inside his own half. Mafiko back to Wannell once more. Now they're trying to entice Aldershot out here. Yeovil played a channel ball that's too long, and it will run all the way out for a goal kick. BBC Radio Bristol 95.5 FM, Freeview channel 714, and also on BBC Sounds. Yeovil 1, Aldershot 1 here in the National League. These two sides both in the well in the bottom half of the table, but you would think that both ought to have enough to have no issues really at all in terms of relegation. The bottom four look to be really struggling, but there's still a lot of games to be played, so there's always a chance that somebody at the bottom might have put a run together. Hard to see it being more than one, though, perhaps.
Yeah, we were saying earlier, weren't we? And it looks like there's probably one or two places down the bottom to play for, unless someone puts a real good run together in that running.
Gateshead and Morecambe in particular look vulnerable, don't they?
Yeah, they've got to do a hell of a lot of work to get back from where they are.
Peart on the right, halfway inside the Yeovil half, a little push and run. Can he get this cross in? No, it'll be blocked again by Mafiko. And Inwood this time, I was going to say he's going to make his way into the box for somebody else to do the throw, but no, he knows it's his call, and it's clearly a tactic that John Coleman wants to use a lot, and he believes that there is going to be some profit from it. How close is he to the corner flag? About 5 or 6 yards, not much more. Goes a bit wider with the throw this time. Yeovil win the first header, and Inwood keeps the ball in play and wants some help from somebody.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm a bit surprised they haven't kind of worked a short throw by now, because everyone's loaded up in the box and his throws are pretty tame. They're he's done one of them.
Gandor's battled with that. That was one to be let to run out of play by Yeovil. James Henry puts the ball back into the penalty area, nodded towards goal, towards Patton. But in the end, an easy one for Jed Ward, and his clearance has come off in Harvey Greenstade's head. It will be a Yeovil throw. For 32 minutes, and it sometimes says a lot when you're looking at a clock a lot in a game, because you think nothing much has happened. But although Yeovil haven't really had anything other than the one shot, the general play has been interesting enough that we haven't found ourselves clock watching in any way, shape or form. Meerholtz back to Boyce Clark, all in blue in the Aldershot goal. Goes down the middle this time. It drifts in the end out to the right hand side. Peart can't get his header onto it, and it's had to play for a Yeovil throw. I'm with you actually, Josh. I don't think, Inwood's tried that long throw probably 6 or 7 times already, and Yeovil will get used to it. And I almost say the throws have gradually got shorter and shorter.
Yeah, well, I think to be honest, it's not a particularly venomous throw. If you look at like Ben Tozer's kind of throw, it was always very, very flat, and those ones are quite hard to defend, because as a centre half you can't really get hold of anyone, you can't get above the centre forward, whereas these ones are pretty floaty and tame, and I think Wands and Skuro and Finn will be happy with that all day long, really.
Well, it's back pass towards the Yeovil goal, and Jed Ward was way out of his goal there, and it was needed Skuro to clear it into touch. That was poor communication at the back from Yeovil.
Yeah, it's inviting more pressure, isn't it? I think we can take a leaf out of Aldershot's book in some capacity. The attitude to play forward is quite intense to play against.
Inwood from his short throw this time drills a long cross towards the back of the 6-yard area, and the header in the end, I think from Nightingale, has gone wide of the left hand post, drifting wide out for a goal kick. But that was a back pass just into an area where somebody just didn't get a call or didn't look, and Ward was way out to the right hand side of his goal, and the goal was gaping. Fortunately, Skura was sharp enough to clear it into touch. Yeovil will go straight and direct down the middle. That's too long. That's gone keeper to keeper, and Aldershot will have free possession at the back once more. Nightingale wants to try and send Patton away through the middle here. It's come off the back of Cousin Dawson's head. Fortunately, James Daly was alert to it, but he's got red shirts all around him. 1-0 to Works, who scored a cracking equaliser. Back to 1-0 once more, and heads on up the touchline. Better play from Yeovil, gets them to halfway. Ronald's been involved at least twice in this move already, but there's no width on the right suddenly. And McGavin, who's been very quiet in this first 35 minutes, tries to get past his immediate marker. They try and put Greenslade into an inside right channel. He's got clear, and now the flag goes up. It was a tight call, but the assistant in the end said that Greenslade was offside.
Yeah, I think it was a tight call, but I think it was the right one in the end. I think Mack just went a touch too early. Nice bit of play for Wands, and I don't know if it was Daffico or Works down the left-hand side. It's a long way away from us over here, but yeah, nice bit of football. And
yeah, the only fizz has just gone from Aldershot in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, just gone a bit scrappy, and they've just it's a hell of an arse to run around at that pace for 90 minutes the way they were.
He's tripped Greenslade just inside the Yeovil half. Greenslade gets to his feet.
I think if we can finish this last 10 minutes well and really drive a bit of energy on, and drive some bodies forward. I always just think there's a bit of a gap between midfield and the back line. The top line and the back line. I always think we could try and keep a couple of bodies in midfield and play through, but we'll see if we can conjure up another chance. It's a good opportunity for us. I think physically, when we can load the boys up there, we should dominate. I think it's not a massive team. Here's
McGavin with this free kick just inside the Yeovil half, right to the centre circle, goes to the far side of the box, headed up into the air, but it's Cameron Hargreaves' ball. It's uncontested, his clearing header. Mafiko goes back into the centre circle once more, and Daly tries to loft a ball forward, which Hill cuts out. Second ball might break Yeovil's way though, until Inwood gets in with his clearance, and there's a sliding tackle gone in from Daly after the ball had gone. Clearly a free kick, and we've got about 8 minutes to go until half time. It's Yeovil 1, Aldershot 1. The goals, Scott for Aldershot after 7 minutes, a low drive from the edge of the area, and Works a rising drive after 25 into the top corner, also from the edge of the box. So it's seen two cracking goals.
Yeah, two really goals, and to be honest, for all the huffing and puffing, there hasn't really, I think Jed's had a save or two to make. There hasn't really been much in between, so it's been a bit of a it's been very exciting, but there's been no real clear-cut chance either way, really, all game, because both goals have been pretty
spectacular.
Yeah, pretty spectacular and pretty. Sorry, I was holding my breath. I didn't know what was going to happen there. Last time I said that we scored. So, yeah, pretty much out of nothing. You wouldn't expect to score from those positions every single time. So, there's been no real clear-cut chances. Two really, really well-taken goals, but it's been an exciting encounter and a bit of a tactical mismatch, which has made for a good game so far, I'd say.
Here's Inwood, the tall left back for Aldershot, on loan from Bolton. As well players do from League One to National League level, to learn their trade a bit. Boyce Clark has got to clear that quite quickly. He's been closed down.
Oh, he's done really well. That's a fantastic pass.
Henry duelling with Wannell, and Wannell, according to the referee, pulled his shirt, and that will be a Aldershot free kick. Meerholtz just asking whether they should wave players forward. Patton is offside. There's a bit of sloppy running from him. He went far too early, and as soon as the ball reached him, up the flag went. And this is, I mean, you know, managers spend a lot of time watching footage of opposition and digesting it and working out in their head tactically how to approach a game, and indeed how to perhaps to change things during a game. And this is one of those where at half time both managers might have quite a bit to say tactically, because it's not been that sort of slow passing game that we've watched a little bit in the National League this season.
No, exactly. As a spectacle, it's been a bit of a thriller, and although it's a bit of a tactical mismatch, both teams have very, very clear ways of playing and have got very, very clear game plans. I think Yeovil's is engage a centre half and have a 10 running in behind, and Aldershot's is kind of commit as many men forward as you can and will play forward as soon and as quick as possible. They overload the opposite side here and try and hit a diag, and it makes for quite an exciting encounter, really.
It's too long for Patton. From back to front, Aldershot. James Henry just saying he wanted the ball played at a slightly different angle to that, but all the way to Jed Ward in the home goal.
Because to be honest, and you don't see many, exactly like you said, the slower paced passing game of the National League, you don't really see many games like this anymore. It's a bit of a rarity, but I'm enjoying it.
Boyce Clark thumps a clearance out of the Aldershot penalty area straight to Declan's score at the other end, but
he's done well.
It's a good turn. To be fair, the referee could have given a foul for a bit of shirt pulling from James Henry, but Aldershot Yeovil kept the ball. So as McGavin continued to play with it, he just said, "Okay, keep going then." And here's 1-0 over the halfway line to Works, who scored the equaliser. Back to Mafiko, back inside the Yeovil half once more. And for once, Aldershot stop pressing the man with the ball. So Mafika goes to the left, Works just in front of his manager. And now Aldershot do press as Yeovil go back towards their own goal. It's not the best ball from Ward to McGavin. He gets it back, but Ward now will go straight, looking for Greenslade inside the Aldershot half. Loses possession, and Meerholtz and Aldershot have just signed from Bristol City on a permanent deal. Gets the ball inside the centre circle. Generally left-footed, tries to shake off the tackle of the retreating Greenslade. Finds Gandor on the left, doesn't take the ball with him initially, then tries to get across him, which is blocked by Cousin Dawson. It'll be a corner. The referee's going to have a word with somebody, or wants a word with somebody.
The guy pulled back.
James Henry.
Yeah, pulled back
for the shirt pull. He'll take the corner on the Aldershot left. We've got not a great deal of.
Yeah, we can't see the clock at the moment. Both of us looking over there.
To play in the first half. It's 1-1 at the moment.
Yeah, we've got our plumbing sorted. That's about all we can see at the moment.
Henry's corner, right into the heart of the 6-yard box. Good header away. And Yeovil has got a chance to get up the pitch a little bit. He goes back to Henry on the second time, and Scott's waiting for an overlap here. Henry hangs the cross back into the penalty area. Meerholtz with a nod down, but it was too straight. The angle was easy for Jed Ward to gather it, and we are 2 minutes from the electronic board. We haven't seen the trainer in the first half. We haven't had a yellow card, so there may be no time to add.
What will they say? 2 minutes? 1 minute each goal. I think that's the referee's ruling. What they always used to say. So we'll see what they do.
Hargreaves on the halfway line, tight to the right touch line. Can't find Peart. He'll get a throw in though. And I think Billy Rowley will feel that the second half of the first half, since Works scored, Yeovil have evened the game up much more.
Yeah, definitely took the wind out of Aldershot's sails. I think we'd still like to implement ourselves a bit more on this game in the attacking third.
Here's Gandor on the left, low cross into the box. Henry's got space here, drags it back, good shot, good save at the near post. Jed Ward would have expected to make that, because the way that Henry dragged the ball back, it narrowed the angle, but he's got two good feet, hit it on target at the near post, sort of chest height, and punched behind by Ward for a corner.
Yeah, it was a really good strike, to be fair to him, because he kind of got it stuck under his feet a bit, but solid save. But it's another box entry. I think we've got to be careful on these. You look at if you're a statistician, I think you'd look at box entries, and it's been heavily weighted in Aldershot's favour. So another good save drawn from Jed Ward there.
Henry with the corner again on the Aldershot left. Low towards the near post again, it's glanced away out of immediate trouble. Hargreaves tried to keep it in play and try and get the low cross in again. Yeovil do well to block it. That was McCormick back in an unfamiliar defensive position. Where is Inwood?
1 minute added on. There we go. Nice easy one today. 1 minute. Don't see that very often either, do you, Ian?
Well, as I say, there's been very little time wasted by either side in the first half. What can Inwood wind himself up for with one last throw? Again, it's that loopy trajectory. Into the box it goes. It might come down for Henry. Can he keep it in play? It's gone out, in fact, for a goal kick. So he's just left the ball behind by the corner flag as well. The Yeovil fans think that should be a yellow card offence, but referee Massielis is not going to allow that. Several of the crowd get up and go towards the half-time beverage.
Yeah,
probably a hot beverage tonight, I would think.
Yeah, I could do with a hot beverage and some toe warmers would be brilliant if anyone's doing orders.
I did go for did opt for the double socks tonight. I just thought it might be one of those evenings.
That's experience, that is, Ian. I'm out here with one thin pair of socks on, so more for me, eh?
And this ball is airborne. He may get to Harvey, blow the half-time whistle. Referee Massielis says not quite yet. 1-1 with a header forward. Nightingale goes across for Aldershot, and they in the end get the pass back to Boyce Clark in the visitors' goal. A good half to watch, especially if you're a neutral, and it ends all square. Yeovil really struggling in the first 20 minutes, conceding a goal after 6. Aldershot might have scored before that, but Ollie Scott's low drive found the bottom left-hand corner of Jed Ward's goal. It took Yeovil 20 minutes to get going, and when they did, the first meaningful attack of note saw Terrell Works cut inside off the left and power a shot into the top left-hand corner. Thereafter, much more even, but the last few minutes, Aldershot pressure, and Yeovil did well to survive it.
Yeah, I think on the balance of play, it's probably been Aldershot's half. I feel. Probably, I think if we're being honest, we scored a little bit against the run of the play. It was a very, very well taken goal, don't get me wrong, and it kind of come from something out of nothing, but which is always good. But I don't know. I think it's. I'm sure Billy will be looking to make slight adaptations in the second half, because I don't know how you can contain that level of box entries. It's like you knock on a door enough times, eventually it's going to fall over, and they were growing again by the second half, and I'm sure they'll be looking to take some momentum into the second half, and yeah, we've got to kind of work out how to stifle their possession, and can we put a little bit more possession on higher up the pitch to stop them being able to, because at the moment they're forcing unopposed balls forward, so it's very, very difficult for the back line to be in a position to be high and let them go over the top, or really deep to sit onto it. So I think we've got to try and stop it at source. Can we maybe the two wider boys get a bit of pressure higher up the ball, and looks like Josh Sims is stripped off out there, so that could be a change in the making maybe for the second half. Not sure what that would look like but he definitely looks like he's got his kit off, doesn't he?
James Daly has not been involved in the game awfully much in the first half. Maybe a change in one of the wide areas. We'll see, but at half-time here, Yeovil 1, Aldershot 1 at half-time.
On a piece there, I will be going through all of the half times and get a little bit more detail with the pundits while we're waiting for everybody to rejoin us. Just tell you, in the Champions League, it's finished Galatasaray 5, Juventus 2 in the earlier kickoff. Monaco are 2-1 up against Paris Saint-Germain, who missed a penalty. Monaco were 2-0 up in that one. Benfica and Real Madrid is goalless, and Borussia Dortmund are a goal up against Atalanta. So that is the Champions League as things stand. Right, let's get a few more details of what's happened in the first halves of our commentary games, starting at Ashton Gate.
Edge of the area, O'Brien, Doyle up from the back, he's crossing into the area and it's volleyed in. Rathbone scores, terrific shot, left-footed. Vitek can do nothing about it.
Yeah, good finish from Ollie Rathbone, but that won't make City fans any happier. And to be honest, Gary, having seen a bit of this first half, it just defensively they kind of been all right, but they haven't really posed a threat pretty much the entire half there, City.
No, I mean, I'm looking at the top of the pitch, and you think that Tommy Horvath and Scott Twine have struggled to get into the game in attacking areas. We've seen very little of Emil Rees, who, you know, we've had Mark Sykes in one passage of play on the right hand side, and Neto Borges on the other side delivering a couple of crosses into the box, and that's been City's only real threat. You know, Wrexham aren't really pressing high up the pitch. They're quite content to let City's back three have the ball and pass it around, and that's where the problem lies, because City are happy to pass it square. They've got to be a little bit braver. They've got to try and pass it through defensive lines into midfield, and then find them pockets of space at the top of the pitch and get the players on the ball where they can do some damage.
Probably the best, well, I won't say the best chance they had, because it wasn't a chance, but a couple of shouts for penalties. I've had the advantage of being able to watch it back again. The one where Sykes has tried to dink it through to Emil Rees, the defender's come across him. Basically, it's hit his hand, his arm is out. I don't think he had any desire for the ball to hit his hand. It just kind of, he was coming across, and that's what happened. And it's just one of those, unfortunately, some half referees are going to give that as a penalty, the other half aren't, and from City's point of view, we've got a referee who didn't see that as a penalty, which is probably the best chance they've created.
Yeah, but it's disappointing if the ref didn't see it, but if it was handball, it's more disappointing that the linesman didn't see it, I think, because it's right on that side of the pitch. It's towards the outside of the 18-yard box on the right hand side, and there's nothing to obstruct the linesman's view, so you know, he doesn't have to stick his flag up and wave his flag, but they communicate with headsets as well, so he didn't see anything either. And then obviously in quick succession they had two further shouts, but I didn't really see much in that, to be honest.
No, the first one definitely wasn't. The second one was just clumsy. It's a big centre-back trying to go over the top of a much smaller forward, and it's clumsy. Again, in the category of probably seen them given, but you're probably a little bit lucky if you do get that one. I just want to see City be a bit more penetrative with their passing a little bit. Yes, the forwards aren't making it stick, but they're not being given a great deal to work with. All over the pitch, they just need to raise it 5 or 10%, because we were talking about how big a game this is, and at the moment the players aren't kind of showing that level of urgency, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
No. Yeah, that is a good word, urgency. They lack a little bit of urgency out of possession for sure, and you know, Wrexham are playing a high line, and sometimes you've got to find different ways to get beyond the defensive lines, and you know, it's a game to get a couple of forwards on. I think I'll tell you what worries me. All of a sudden I just look at City's team, and I look at Sam Morsey and Adam Randall in the middle of the pitch, and Tommy Horvath, who it's the first time I've seen him, I'm surprised how small he is. You know, the City all of a sudden look like they lack a little bit of physicality, and maybe the ability to sort of mix the game up a little bit more in a different way, so maybe 1 or 2 changes are needed in the second half.
Well, we'll wait and see. Gary, for the moment, thank you very much. Full second half commentary coming up from Ashton Gate, as it will be from Boundary Park, where again Rovers are a goal down.
It's a shot! Oh goodness me! What a start! It's Drummond has scored for Oldham Athletic. A layoff on the edge of the box. First time, we haven't even played a minute. It's Oldham Athletic.
Yeah, when it's not your day, it's not your day when you're going down that early in that one. The stats would certainly suggest, Lee Mansell, that Rovers have tried to get back into it since then. What's the sense been of that first 45?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, that you'd probably say Oldham had the first 15 minutes of the game. There was a little bit even, and then Rovers really did start to grow into it and fashion the best chances. You know, it's not been a spectacular first half, to be perfectly honest, but Rovers have created 3 really, really good opportunities where should have at least taken 2 of them. I mean, I'm going to give Tommy Lee a little bit of leeway there. You know, if it was someone, you know, if it's a forward-thinking player, they're going to fly through the defender and try and get their head on the end of the ball. He kind of just put his neck back a little bit, and it just ricocheted off. But yeah, if you're Steve Evans, you're going to be really disappointed with that first 15 minutes. Yes, you went a goal down. Obviously, to be fair, it was an absolute worldie of a strike from Kane Drummond within 45 seconds, but they didn't really recover it. It took them 10 minutes to get going off the back of that. And as I say, they have obviously shown that they can create chances, especially when they get to those bylines. If you can keep Tommy Lee on the ball as much as possible, he's probably been
the Rovers player that's looking to link play and to get Van join him forward. As I say, they have grown into it, but we're going to definitely need to see some more quality in the second half.
Good stuff, Mance, for the moment. Thank you very much. Full second half commentary coming up from Boundary Park, and at Hewish Park, at least it's at parity.
Here's Patton, nice ball inside the penalty area, cut back. Scott will come onto it and he drive it low, and it's into the corner. My word, he struck that well. The fullback coming into space, 25 yards out, and it was a daisy cutter into Jed Ward's box. Works corner of the box, steps inside, shoots.
What a goal.
Oh, it's a corker of an equaliser from Terrell Works. First time Yeovil have had a sight of goal on the edge of the Aldershot penalty area, and that goal.
So that is the score at Hewish Park, 1 apiece there. Watching this one for us alongside Ian Randall is former Yeovil defender Josh Staunton, and Josh, is all square a fair reflection of what you've seen in that first half?
I think probably on the balance of play, Aldershot will go in disappointed with just only scoring the 1 goal. I think they've had some good opportunities and they've had real good territory and loads of box entries, but I think 2 fantastic strikes we've seen in the first half over here at Hewish Park, so we can't complain too much, and it's been a real thriller of a game.
And we mentioned it coming into this, I think Aldershot have definitely a team that creates plenty of chances. A draw keeps them at arm's length. Is that the worst thing, or if you're Billy Rowley, are you going all out for that 3 points in the second half?
I think Billy will probably be looking to change something, because I think Aldershot they started the half on top and they've definitely finished the half on top. So I think if we, as the home team and the team higher at the table, want to implement ourselves, I think there'll be subtle changes, maybe a couple of personnel changes, just try and get a bit of grip in the game, because if you picked it now, it'd be very, very difficult to pick a winner, because it's very, very gung-ho from Aldershot, and it's really quite thrilling to watch. But it could go either way. But if you were swaying on the balance of the first half, you'd probably say it's looking more like Aldershot looking like that, more likely to score at the moment. So I'm sure Billy will be looking to change that.
Fair enough. Well, glad that it's an entertaining game. Hopefully it ends with all 3 points for Yeovil. That's Josh Staunton. So there we go. The tale of the tapes from all 3 of our commentary games. Full second half commentary will be coming up very shortly here on the midweek match on BBC Radio Bristol and BBC Radio Somerset. Let's get you across what's happening in some of the other matches being played in the other championship game. It's at Charlton against Portsmouth, and at the moment it's Portsmouth who are very much enjoying themselves in that one. They are 2 goals to the good at the break into League One, and it is Barnsley 1, Peterborough 1. Bradford and Stockport is goalless. Burton, fresh from running West Ham close at the weekend, are 1-0 up against Rotherham. Cardiff, the leaders, 1 apiece against AFC Wimbledon. Doncaster 1, Huddersfield 0. Exeter losing 1-0 at home to Wycombe Wanderers, having lost their manager, of course, this week. Leyton Orient and Plymouth is a goal apiece. Lincoln 1, Northampton 0. Stevenage 2, Port Vale 1. Blackpool are a goal up against Mansfield. That one is still being played. It must have been a bit of a late kick-off there. And Reading against Bolton is similarly 1-0 to the home team. Into League 2, Barnet 1, Swindon 0 is a half-time score. Barrow 0, Harrogate 1. So I'm not sure there's anything that's a good scoreline from Rovers' point of view in that one, but that is what it is. The leaders Bromley are taking on Cheltenham Town. Watching this one, Emily Herbert.
Bromley 1, Cheltenham 1. Bromley firing out the blocks early. Mitch Pinnock scoring his first goal for the club just 4 minutes in before a leveller down the other end. Found the on-rushing Isaac Hutchinson, centre of the box, unmarked, who slid home his 10th of the season. Bromley still 4 points clear at the top of League 2, with Cambridge drawing elsewhere tonight. But at half-time, it is Bromley 1, Cheltenham Town 1.
So Isaac Hutchinson getting on the score sheet. That's going to please Rovers fans, isn't it? Cambridge 1, Colchester 1 is a half-time score. Chesterfield 1-0 up against Gillingham. Crewe 0, Fleetwood 1. Goalless between MK Dons and Crawley. Salford are 1-0 down at home to Newport. So again, not great news as far as Rovers are concerned. The results definitely not going their way tonight. Shrewsbury and Notts County are goalless, as is Tranmere against Accrington. Into the National League, the game's being played elsewhere tonight. Halifax 0, Gateshead 1. Rochdale and Scunny is a goal apiece. Sutton are 2-1 up at home to Woking, and Wilston against Hartlepool was postponed much earlier in the day. I can tell you in National League South, Bath City are 1 apiece with Ebbsfleet, and that is at half time. So, yeah, there's a lot still to come here in the second half of games, and I think it's fair to say that all three of our teams need a little bit of improvement if we want to get the kind of results that fans will be hoping for. There is, of course, Winter Olympics action that continues this evening. Let's get the latest on the curling. Watching this for us is Maz Faruqi.
Not good news for Great Britain. They simply couldn't claw it back after that really poor seventh end, and they've conceded, in fact, after 9 ends, so still with 1 to play. Canada winning 9-5. GB aren't out of contention for a top 4 finish yet, but they have to hope other results go their way. It's out of their hands, and they definitely have to win their final round robin match tomorrow. That is against the USA. But GB, the world champions, remember, are one of our really, really big medal hopes at these games. Their place going forward in this curling competition is very much in the balance now.
Right then, time to head back to our venues for full second half commentary in all three of our featured matches. So, at Hewish Park, it's Yeovil 1, Aldershot 1, 95.5 FM, BBC Sounds and Freeview Channel 714, the places to be for this one. Your commentary team in the National League, former Yeovil defender Josh Staunton, and he sat alongside Ian Randall.
Thank you, Ed. Change of personnel here for Yeovil at half-time. Josh Sims coming on, and Dakarai Mafiko, surprisingly, is the player who has gone off. Now, whether there's a fitness issue there or not, I don't know, but Sims is on and Mafiko is off at the break. I'll give you the two sides when referee Massey Ellis gets us underway. We're 1-1 at half-time here, and Yeovil tweaking things. Are they going to tweak things tactically as well? We'll see. So they're playing towards the Thatcher's end in this second half. It's a long chase back for Cousin Dawson, who wants to let that go out for a goal kick, but it's back-heeled into play by Sean Patton, and in fact the decision was taken that it was out, so it will be a goal kick. So the Yeovil side, Ward in goal, then Cousin Dawson, Scorer and Wannell, and then McGavin maybe now as a sitter with McCormick also dropping deeper. That's how it looks. And then Sims, Daly, Perrott and Works supporting Harvey Greenslade.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see obviously when Mafiko plays that Daff, yeah, I think I've just mispronounced his name. That Daff pronounced that when he plays on the left wing, we tend to roll inside a little bit more, so he kind of becomes a.
Looks like Sims has gone to the right and Daly's going to play wide on the left, with Works going into that sort of
so I'd imagine Daly will hug the touchline a lot more than Mafiko does when he plays.
Yeovil free kick, corner of the penalty area, volleyed away.
Yeah, it could be a nasty head injury.
And Wannell has gone down. Is he going to be okay? Referee's just checking.
I think he got it. He went over the top of him, just headed the back of someone's head there. So hopefully not a bad one for ones, but comes with the territory, unfortunately.
Physios are on. So that is the Yeovil 11. The Aldershot 11. Boyce Clark is the goalkeeper. They play 4-2-3-1. Hill, Nightingale, Inwood, he of the long throw, and Scott, and then Meerholtz and Hargreaves, and then Peart, Henry and Gandour in behind Pat. You're not missing anything because Ronald is still getting treatment. So just to recap that substitution, Mafiko off at half-time, Sims on, he's gone to the right, Daly's come over to the play on the left, and Terrell Works has gone into one of those attacking, almost those number 10 roles.
Yeah. I think
McCormick dropping into the deeper role.
I'd imagine it's much of the same. Maybe different personnel just brings a little bit of a different dynamic to the structure. I can't imagine Daly's going to be rolling inside to a bottom pivot the same way Math does. So it's probably going to be more of an out-and-out 5-3-5-2 or 3-5, whatever you want to call it, 3-box 3-4-3, I guess is probably the modern way to call it. So I don't imagine it all looks pretty much the same out there, and as you say, McCormick's just kind of dropped into a bit of a pivot role, and hopefully we get a bit of joy out of it, and we can get on the front foot.
Wonnell's on his feet, but he's on the touchline at the moment, so he won't be able to come back on for 30 seconds. That's the rule, of course. Here are Aldershot, red shirts, blue shorts, and red socks. Yeovil in the green and white as usual. And here's Nightingale up towards the halfway line. Yeovil will have everybody back inside their own half at the moment, so he goes square to Inwood, and he will go to Scott. Yeovil have just dropped in at the moment. Mia Holtz tries to find a little ball round the corner. It would come to James Henry, who switches the play to the left. There's no offside.
What a great block that is.
There's a good shot on the off the right foot from Gandour. It was blocked at source, and Yeovil now very deep, probably only 35 yards from their goal. Ball worked to the right hand side, and here is Ryan Hill. Can he get past his immediate tackler? He can't. Daly comes away with it. He's got Works to his left, and Mia Holtz has just got a toe on that, and it should be played back just about to Boyce Clark, whose clearance is headed into touch.
He didn't do the goalie any favours, eh?
They play a very, very high risk kind of game, Aldershot.
Yeah, it makes for good viewing though, I must admit, but he absolutely rifled that back of the goalie there.
Now, what's happened here? As Wonnell said something.
Did he come back on too quick?
Well, he may have done, and he's been shown a yellow card anyway, and he's saying to the assistant said, I could return to the field of play. I didn't see him come back on.
Yeah, he did. To be honest, it was a bit of a strange one, because the ball went to the Aldershot's right centre half, and generally, I don't know if it's changed with the 30-second rule, you wouldn't be able to come up on the left-hand side of the game because you'd be in that phase of play.
I can only think that is why Wonnell has been booked.
Yeah, I'd imagine you usually have to wait for that phase of play is gone, so he's come back on the ball side of the game. So
Hill, ball into the penalty area, which Gandour slipped. It could have been a dangerous one otherwise. Scott is still there. Low ball across the box, and it's fired through everybody, and it's gone out for a goal kick. That was whistled in from Ollie Scott. Anybody with anything on that in front of the goal, and Ward wasn't saving it, but he almost hit it too hard, and it's gone out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's a similar kind of pattern to the first half. I can't quite work out if Aldershot are very, very good at starting the half well, or Yeovil just a little bit slow out the blocks and look a bit ragged, because it just looks a bit disjointed.
We've had 5 minutes already. That's a long ball forward. Boyce Clark should hammer that away with his left foot up over the halfway line. Good header from Cousin Dawson. Mia Holtz gets underneath it for Aldershot, but the green and whites turn it over. Is there a foul there? The referee says not, and it's drifted out of play off.
I tell you what, I bet you got sore legs in the morning after playing for Aldershot 90 minutes, because it's pretty hell for leather, isn't it? Yeah, centre half does an awful lot of sprinting, and it definitely makes for good viewing. I'm really enjoying it.
Josh Staunton with us on commentary tonight. Here's Nightingale going down the middle looking for James Henry, but Skirler is there, and Inwood slid in then after the ball had gone. The referee's had a good look, and he said no foul,
and he's off the pitch, so he's got a
Daly's right across the touchline at the moment. He's straddling the touchline, so they can't really restart play until he either gets up or he's helped off the field. And
it looked pretty innocuous. I don't think he actually caught him, so I don't think the refs made a bad. I don't know if he got his foot stuck in the ground or something, because the turf looks like it's ripped up a bit, but I don't really think he caught him, because he was more of a block to slide to block the pass rather than to hit the man.
Whether his momentum went into Daly or not, the assistant, it was right on top of the instant, clearly deemed it didn't. Here's Hill into Mia Holtz, switches the play to the right. Peart crosses, blocks. There's an appeal for a handball. It won't be that. It will be a corner though. And again, Aldershot bright at the beginning of the half, and Henry will come across to this right hand side to take the corner. 1-1 it remains, and 1-1 in the book.
Very, very nice, Ian. Very nice. We've been waiting to do that one all day. That's but hopefully we can see off this pressure of coming out the blocks again. They've come out really sharp, so I think someone's got to take hold of the game and try and slow it down a little bit.
Nobody at the near post. Patton is trying to make Jed Ward's life awkward, but the corner is too simple for Ward to gather. It was played with a gentle pace by Henry, and Yeovil will try and break. McCormick's making his way down the far touchline, but he's cut off by Meerholtz, who slides that into touch.
That was really good defending, because that was a nice break from Yeovil there. Really good from Jed, coming claiming the cross again. He's done that excellently today, and I think it was Ryan Hill tried playing it offside. He mistimed it really badly. He could have hung his player out to dry there.
Yeovil halfway inside the Aldershot half with a throw. It goes back to Wannell. So no ill effects apparently from that blow earlier in the half. Daly back to Wannell once more, and Aldershot start this sort of squeeze, which keeps Yeovil inside their own half. Sims is hugging the touchline on the far right, wanting the ball to go his way. It does. The question is, will he be able to bring it back under control? He does, and then loses.
They're just so aggressive on the press. They really are aggressive.
Works. It's a decent ball. Doesn't quite get the run of it though. Aldershot close the door, and Patton back to goal, finds Hargreaves, needs some help, and Ollie Scott decides the sensible thing to do is just to lash it upfield and get Aldershot up the pitch. McGavin.
This is better from us, even just a little bit of tempo on and off the ball. They look a little bit more shaky when we do that.
Works, scored the equaliser, back towards his own goal. McCormick's wide on the left, almost in the left back position. Wannell now is in the left back position. The scorer wants the ball played his way. He doesn't go to him on the right side of the Yeovil defence. Thatcher's trying to find a song to get the team going. Wannell to McCormick on the left. There's a bit of room for him for once. Yeovil with a bit of space to Works. Daly tries to find McCormick on his run inside the box, but Aldershot closed the door, and Nightingale hooks a clearance upfield. Patton makes a back, and then
I tell you what, this is dangerous out there.
Second ball, Gandor is on the overlap here. Yeovil are getting players back, but Gandor runs into the box. Can he get his shot away? He can, but it's rising all the time. It will be, I think, a yellow card coming out.
Yeah, Finn caught him late there. I think it was.
So Cousin Dawson gets a yellow card. It was for the tackle on Patton, I think, as the move was being built. Referee played the advantage and then decided at the end of it that there was a challenge worthy of a yellow card.
Yeah, we've got to be careful here. Both outside centre halves are on bookings now, so the way these guys commit bodies forward, it's not beyond the realms of possibility to get caught and leaving a toe in there and give away a free kick or something.
Ward drills that long. It's a couple of those tonight. It's gone keeper to keeper.
Yeah, it's obviously the game plan, isn't it? But I think you're asking a hell of a lot from people when there's so many bodies behind the ball. It's they want to hide into nothing really. Harvey up there chasing them.
Nightingale. We'll just dropping back into their formation. Hargreaves to Inwood. It's not the best ball to a 30-year-old centre-back who's, in the end, got a bit lucky. It's going to be an Aldershot throw.
Yeah, it's nice to see us pressing higher up the pitch.
He wasn't played into the best area there by his teammate, Will Nightingale. He might have a bit of a glare at him.
I think sometimes you know when you've messed up and you got away with it. So a little smile across to your centre half partner and move on.
Meerholtz finds Hill. That's not a great ball forward. Wannell gets the ball clear, then makes his way up the touchline, wins the second ball in an unfamiliar position. Perrett over halfway to Daly, back to McCormick once more, playing in. He's not the only one wearing gloves actually, because Works is also wearing gloves tonight. It's that sort of evening.
Yeah, I could do a pair of gloves, so probably more full meat.
Scott for Aldershot wins possession back. Now Henry's in space here. If you can find a pass through to Brody Peart, that's a good ball. Peart into the area, he's forced wide, cuts it in, and Wannell blocks the cross shot at the expense of a corner. But you don't leave James Henry in that sort of position because he can pick a pass. It wasn't absolutely pinpoint for Peart,
I think the pass was as good as you're going to get. I think his touch just slid away from him. I don't know if it just didn't quite grip on his boot, but if he had a better touch there, was it? I don't know who it was in goal. Was it Piatt? That could have been a real dangerous position if his touch had taken him a bit more angled towards the goal. We were in a lot of trouble there, and we've kind of got away with one.
Changed the corner routine, played it short. Well, referee's not happy with something. He's going to go back. He wants it retaken.
Outside the D? I'd have thought that'd be a free kick to Yeovil if it was outside the D, surely.
No. Has he had the communication there from his assistant, the referee? Because he's 60 yards away. So they'll change it, and James Henry will take a more orthodox corner from the Aldershot right. Good header away from Cousin Dawson. Second ball is also cleared by Yeovil. They're trying to change the angle of the attack. Aldershot on the left. Can Scott hang across into the middle? He can't, but he'll get a long throw.
A long floaty throw is going to come in now, so they're going to load the box again. More of the same, I think, from Aldershot, isn't it?
It is in Wood once more, trotting over to make...
The clock's a miles up today. His GPS will be flashing red, I think, stop running across the pitch.
14 minutes gone in the second half. It remains Yeovil 1, Aldershot 1. Here's Inwood's throw, the loopy trajectory. Doesn't even reach the front edge of the 6-yard box, actually. But Aldershot still have pressure. They've cut the ball back via a ricochet, and Gandos shot just what Meerholtz shot rather well saved. Meerholtz it was, and Ward at this near post got 90% of it and then grabbed it again at the second attempt.
I think he kind of smothered it and it come off the post back to him. I think from where I was sitting, we haven't got a great view from up here, but it come from a pretty ominous looking throw-in, didn't it? It was kind of not, the first ball was
not cleared,
semi dealt with, and the second ball, maybe that's what they're playing for with the throw-ins. Maybe it's not all geared towards the first contact, and they're focused on picking the seconds up, because that's a really nice strike from I'm not sure, it was the lad in midfield, wasn't it? Was it Meerholtz? Nice strike. Jed Ward kind of tipped it onto the post, I think, and it, fortunately today it came straight back to him and smothered in his arms.
First 15 minutes of the second half mirroring the first 15 minutes of the first. Aldershot making the running. Meerholtz once more. Henry just robbed of the ball. And then the free kick given Yeovil's way. The crowd clearly think that the free kick tally is something like 4-1 in Aldershot's favour.
Yeah, but to be honest, I think that's I would say that's probably an aggression point of view. I think you kind of get that feeling if you're looking through your own set of like a supporter's set of eyes, because Aldershot have been very, very aggressive all over the pitch, really, really front foot. So they've won a lot of tackles and they won a lot of 50-50s. So very easy to feel hard done by. But I don't think the refs really done a huge amount wrong today.
Long free kick, volleyed away from the edge of their own box by Aldershot. Patton tries to bring the ball down, does bring it down, but then gets it taken off his toe by McGavin. He runs it back to Jed Ward. Clears it up over the halfway line. Sims, who hasn't done a massive amount since he's come on, he hasn't seen the ball a lot on his side of this field in an offensive sense. Still hugging that right hand touchline though, as Yeovil switch the play to the other side, and here's Warnell coming over the halfway line. Works, who's one intervention in the game brought the Yeovil goal, one big intervention in the game. Back to Warnell on halfway. This is where it gets a bit frustrating if the movement of the ball is too slow. Warnell gets the ball back from McCormick, tries to channel ball looking for Greenstade, it's too long, and it all the way through to Boyce Clark.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. We're getting locked, aren't we, to one side of the pitch, and then the runs and movement become very, very predictable. I think we've got to try and force it through the middle of the pitch a lot more. We're getting stuck down this left-hand channel, and it makes it a hell of a lot easier to defend against.
Hargreaves had got caught on his heels there, but Meerholtz helped him out.
He's a nice player, that Meerholtz. He moves very nicely around the pitch, to be fair to him.
So he was at Bristol City, had a loan spell at Aldershot earlier in the season, and then only last week signed permanently for Aldershot.
He's not the lad who was playing left centre half from the home game, was it? It could very well be. If he is, he's a much better centre midfielder than he is a centre half.
Hill on the right, can't get past Works. It'll be a Aldershot throw. They'll reject the idea of the long one at this stage. Taken short to James Henry. Little outside of the foot pass to Hill. His cross is blocked, and Works just hammers it almost across the pitch more than away. And Yeovil try and raise it up towards the halfway line. Inwards misjudges the bounce somewhat. And just have to hook it forward, looking for a run from Patton, which he makes, but the ball doesn't find him. And referee's going to bring that back for a free kick and possibly a card for Inwood as well. Yes.
Yeah. Good. It's a nice aggressive foul. I think if that was your teammate, you wouldn't be too adverse to him making a tackle there. So it's another positive sign. I wouldn't mind seeing it from one of our midfielders.
Several of the subs are out warming up. Both teams have got subs warming up at the moment, but it remains still at 1-1. And here's McGavin being harried by James Henry. He's got nowhere to go really there. And he does try to give the ball to Daly.
Yeah, but
Daly was crowded out. Nightingale loses possession. Daly atones for his earlier error, drives through the centre circle, gets past Meerholz, who brings him back. That'll be a yellow card as well. That was a tactical foul. He wasn't letting Daly get any further, and a yellow card for Meerholz now as well.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a silly one. He kind of slowed down and was running a bit across the pitch anyway. So, but game's definitely becoming a little bit more stretched. I don't know if both teams are as we said earlier, it's at that 60-65 minute mark where legs start to get a little bit tired, but I think we've just got to be cautious we're not getting locked to one side, because that's when they're really pressing us very well. They kind of lock us to this left hand side, as Daly found there. It's very, very difficult to wiggle your way out when they commit and as aggressive as they are.
So McGavin with a free kick, 15 yards in from the right left hand touchline, and halfway inside the Aldershot half. Goes way to the far side of the box, headed in towards goal, but an easy one for Boyce Clark, who sprints to the edge of his area and kicks clear up over the halfway line, but Patton was the only player up. So in a way, it was a bit of a gamble. Not that Aldershot don't gamble.
Yeah, I was going to say,
that's them
I don't think they're going to turn down that opportunity. And
changes for Yeovil, a double change coming.
That Campbell, can't see from my eyes are deceiving me. I stood right behind the lines, but I can't actually see anything.
Definitely Campbell.
Is it John Page? Jonathan Page?
Page obviously was on the bench on Saturday.
No, or is it?
Didn't come on.
Is it Jones?
Here's the first change.
Yeah,
so Ryan Jones on against his former club. And
also need the third, number 27, Declan Secure, coming on as number 2, Joy McKenna.
So Joy McKenna coming on, and Declan Skura going off. And Billy Roy did say that he might have maybe an hour with Skura tonight. Also, if that was a pre-planned change. McKenna obviously had 45 minutes on Saturday. It's a straight swap.
Yeah, I hope it's not always an easy position to come on at centre half, so hopefully Joy's nice and warm, and he first couple of actions are decent ones, and he grows into the game, because not the easiest position to come on at. Oh, what a great tackle.
Storming tackle there, and here's Patton inside the box, and he's hit the near post, and it's gone wide. That was Ollie Scott, I think, diving in. He took the ball. It was a storming tackle.
Yeah, you don't see football like this much anymore. It's actually really exciting to watch.
Patton was in space inside left channel, and he thudded his shot against the near post, the outside of the near post. But my word, it's Aldershot are asking more questions in this second half in the top third of the pitch than Yeovil are.
Yeah,
so far.
Yeah, so far it's been
quarter of the game to go.
It's been pretty much a story of. There's probably been a 5 or 6 minute spell in the whole night, in the whole 67 so far, which Yeovil have dominated, and it just looks a bit. That's nice football. It just looks like we got to up the ante a little bit all over the pitch, because they just look more aggressive. They're making more fouls. They're making more clear decisions, and they're playing with real clarity.
So Ryan Jones has come on. Let's just see where he is. Dropped onto the right.
And Josh Sims has gone into a wide 10 role, so
that's where the changes happen. Just Jones desperate to do well against the side who were his former employers. Here's Gandor running at the Yeovil defence once more, forcing another corner.
Yeah, they're really direct, so we've got to keep an eye on these box entries, because you cannot just keep letting people attack your goal. We've got to try and get some more impetus, even if we're pressing further away from our goal. Just try and keep them. You can't keep letting them knock on the door, because they've got real quality at the top end of the pitch. We can't deny that, and it's how many chances are we going to give them to keep entering our danger zone. And I mean, they must have had 6-7 corners, 10 throws where they're just launching in the box, and it's a big ask for the boys at the back to keep heading them away, but long may it continue at the moment.
They're doing it at the moment. James Henry with this corner from the Aldershot left, whipped in towards the near post, headed away once more. Another Aldershot corner, and Yeovil will literally have everybody back. In fact, Sims is the only player not inside the only Yeovil player not inside their own 6-yard area. It's very congested in there. They might try and take some runners into different areas here. Nightingale is up for Aldershot from the back. Hill is waiting in case there's a second ball on the edge of the box again. That goes in towards the near post. Yeovil have just enough bodies there. Sims tries to run it out of trouble. He gets to the midpoint of his own half, wants a player away on the right, and now there's a man through the middle if they can find him. And they would have found.
Got to take care there. You've got 50 yards of space to aim at, and we've kicked it straight at. That's a real opportunity there. Not very often do you go 3v1 at that speed, and I don't even think that's that hard a ball, to be honest. You've got massive margin for error.
Ryan Jones was the player sprinting through the middle. Aldershot, though, have the ball back, and they're playing towards the goal away to our right. Their supporters are in the stand that we're doing the commentary from tonight, further up towards the goal that Aldershot are attacking, so they'll be encouraged by what they've seen from their team, but it's still 1-1. That's perhaps is the surprise.
Yeah, I mean,
in some senses
they've hit the woodwork twice this half, haven't they? And they definitely look like currently there's only one team who's kind of looking to push, and they've been really impressive. But I'd like to see us just stamp our mark on the game a little bit more.
Here's Peart trying to hook a ball into the box. He gets it a little bit underpowered, really. Yeovil defend, but only get it to Meerholtz, to Inwood, to Ollie Scott, the left back, who opened the scoring after 6 minutes for Aldershot. Low ball into the box. Henry, can he turn? He's clever in tight areas, James Henry. Back to Meerholtz once more. Oh, it's gone behind Scott. It's not the best ball, and Scott will do well to do any more than get a throw in out of this. Tangling right by the corner flag, and in fact he's given away a free kick. Yeah, that wasn't the best ball to him. Meerholtz didn't 3,058 in the attendance, and just over 200 from Aldershot.
283. That's a decent turnout on a Tuesday night from the Aldershot faithful, but at times it's been a really good atmosphere in here, so we can't ask any more from the Glovers, and it's just been a bit of a real non-starter for Yeovil so far. I just want to see us kind of maybe throw a bit of caution to the wind and attack with a little bit more aggression.
The third quarter of the game for Yeovil has been and gone, and nothing much has happened in an attacking sense at all. And there's still being this relentless energy from Aldershot is still running through their team.
It's very, very difficult to play against. They're playing forward at every given opportunity, and it doesn't even when it's not pretty, it's coming forward. So before you know it, you're in like a territory battle. You just feel like you're always in your box. And
Hill, it's deflected.
What a save!
What a save that is!
What a save that is!
Tipped over by Jed Ward. The ball into the box. It's gone off the knee of Wannell as he tried to clear it. Looked like it was looping over his keeper, and he's tipped it over the bar. for a corner. He's bailed him out, and Wannell accepted it.
Yeah, someone we said earlier when he had a little spill, I think he's in plenty of credit, and that is exactly why. Someone in that dressing room owes that guy several drinks, and he's earned another one there.
James Henry's corner from the Aldershot right, bit wider out this time, and Patton's hit the bar and he's forced it in, has he? He has.
Is that a goal?
Second attempt, Sean Patton. His first attempt hit the bar. Now then, what's happened? What's the referee saying here?
I think he got booted in the head as he headed it. So
Patton then dived forward to head it in and was involved in a collision with the defender, but the linesman's given the goal. The goal will stand. It's a yellow card for Ward, and Patton has put Aldershot ahead with 16 minutes to go with a very, very brave header.
Yeah, I think as a group of outfielders there, when your goal is dug you out of a hole with a fantastic save, I think you've got to defend that corner like you've got a gun to your head, and I don't think anyone did there really. There was no first contact to kind of hit the Aldershot player in the chest of such and just drop down, and it was a real mess. It come back off the crossbar, but look, we can't say it hasn't been deserved. So it was as exactly as we said, when there's that many box entries and that much action in 5, 6, 7, 8 yards out from your goal, it doesn't have to be pretty. The law of averages state that the ball will eventually end up in your goal, and by hook or by crook we've seen it there, and it's been 20 minutes coming now, so we can't be. It's all about the reaction now from the players. We've got to try and salvage something from this game, and in the last few weeks when the backs have been up against the wall, the boys' reactions have been brilliant. So hopefully we see another reaction like that, but I think a bit of togetherness in the squad will go a long way now, because it just looks a bit. It's looked a bit bitty all night, and we've struggled to deal with Aldershot's energy really. So maybe we can fight fire with fire.
Change at the goal. Campbell on and Greenslade off for Yeovil. So Billy Rowley shuffling his pack as best he can. There are 15 minutes plus a little bit of added time for Patton's injury to go, and Yeovil now do have to chase it. At 1-1 they might have said, you know, if we can see this out, it will be a really good point, just as Saturday was a really good point, but they've not been given an inch by this Aldershot side tonight.
Yeah, they've been so aggressive, haven't they? It's not always easy from up here to see things to see like goalmouth action, but you just want to see a bit more aggression. I think if that ball was on the other end of the box, I think we'd have seen an Aldershot player tonight dying to get on the end of it to clear it. So maybe we've got to look at them for the last 15 minutes and take a leaf out there. But
Yeovil have a free kick. They are wide on the right, halfway inside the Aldershot half. McGavin over it. Whip it in with the right foot, nodded down by Wannell. That is sent away by the right foot of Inwood.
They're still down to 10, so we've got to be aware of that fella coming back on the right hand side of the pitch, and there we go.
Here is Patton back on the field. I mean, it was interesting that the goal came shortly after the change at centre back. I wonder whether McKenna hadn't quite got into the game at that corner. You know, who was meant to be marking Patton. When the ball went, as you said, when the ball came off the bar, Patton was first to react.
Yeah. I think that's what it looked like from here. It's been the story of the night, really, isn't it? They've been aggressive, they've been front-footed, and it showed in that 3 or 4 yards out from the penalty box. I don't know if someone was caught on their heels or there's a bit of confusion of who would deal with the ball, but it might look.
Here's Campbell, who's trying to slide the ball through here, and a chance possibly for.
Oh, what a save that is! What a fantastic save, and what a great run and pass, to be fair.
Not clear yet. That was Works who was just foiled. But a little bit of pressure for the first time in this second half. Needs a decent cross from the right. Boyce Clark stays on his line, and in the end that was cleverly done by Ryan Hill. Took charge of that situation, ran it out of trouble, and in the end Yeovil have got to start again as Aldershot clear their lines, get up the pitch, and McKenna starts the move once more. Campbell doesn't play a great ball, and a possible break on here as Henry finds the Patton, the scorer of the second goal. They've just kept possession here, Aldershot. They've let Yeovil get back into their shape. But of course, they now have a 2-1 lead to work with, not a 1-1 situation where they're chasing the second goal.
Yeah, I think that shows from our point of view how there's going to be chances here. I don't think they have it in their nature to just shut up shop. So there's going to be chances. The fullbacks aren't going to stop bombing on, and there's going to be chances to slide in. On that occasion, it was a fantastic. I don't know if I'm not entirely sure who slid the ball in. Was it McCormick or Jones or Sims? But it's a fantastic run from Works, and the goalie done terrifically to smother that.
Ball looking, it's a straight ball looking for Campbell. The header back is wide of Boyce Clark, but he's recovered. Probably 14 yards out from his goal.
Yeah, he done well there, because the ball's been a little bit sticky when them balls have been coming in. They're not really been sliding across the surface. So
nice touch from James Henry, gets Meerholtz into a gap, running at the Yeovil back four who are backtracking, goes wide to the left. Gandor into the penalty area, tries to set it up for somebody coming on a run. Henry again. Is there an arm up there? The referee said not.
Well, he's killed him there, because I think that hit him in the arm, and he's
gone down as if it's a head injury.
Yeah, and
whether it was in the head, I'm not sure.
That was a real good opportunity there. We had 3 counter against 2, so one of them ones where it stops you a bit there, because
looks like Cousin Dawson is the player down. We've got just over 10 minutes to go. Aldershot haven't yet made a change at all, so they still have their complete bench. You've got a couple of those who haven't played much football recently, so John Coleman might think about just keeping going with what he has at the moment. They're 2-1 up. They're fairly comfortable now, having briefly looked at a replay. It's been certainly fascinating tactic, one of the most interesting games I have watched at this level this season, because it's just such a complete contrast.
Yeah, it's been a blast from the past. You know, I was speaking to a friend the other day, and so much of football is trying to nullify the opposition these days, and it's quite refreshing, because Aldershot looked like they would have come here and played the same way regardless of who they play in. They've shown, not in a nice way, they've shown Yeovil no respect in terms of they're going to go right in their face, and it's made for a fantastic encounter, and really shown that if you focus on yourselves, that you can get your rewards. And it's been very, very hard for Yeovil from minute 1 to minute 80 to gain a foothold in the game. It's just been relentless pressure, tackles, intensity, and it's been really nice for modern football.
McGavin it was, in fact, who was down. He is off the field at the moment, so you better watch how long he takes to get back on after what happened to Waddle in the first half. Long ball going back to front. Yeovil have decided that the clock is not their friend at the moment, so they may have to go a bit more direct.
Yeah, I'll tell you, a really interesting stat for any statistician out there would be, I'd love to see the percentage of backwards passes, number of backwards passes from each team, because obviously there's backwards passing in football, but Aldershot made a very conscious effort of going forward at every given opportunity.
Gandor is just offside there. That was a tight call as well, because
how could he? Yeah, he looked like he was the other side of him, didn't he?
Yeah, it appeared to go off.
That was really interesting.
A challenge between he and Cousin Dawson. Ryan Jones. Again, the subs have not made a massive impact.
To be honest,
for Yeovil.
Yeah, I think every player who's walked on the pitch for Yeovil struggled to make much of an impact today. To be honest, I think the way they've been played against has kind of stopped them gaining a foothold in the game, and you've got to be really positive and really brave and front-footed to kind of counteract that. And we haven't seen a huge amount of that today, other than probably Works' goal.
1-0, looking for Works, but he doesn't get the ball, and Gandor I think might be offside there.
I think he was on that time, yeah.
But the assistant says he was on, and he's going to run at Cousin Dawson. Gets to the edge of the penalty area, gets some help from Meerholtz. They've gone back out to the left again. Meerholz a little 1-2 looking for Ollie Scott. He won't be able to reach that. He wants a corner, but he won't get it, and it's gone out for a goal kick. It feels like a one chance kind of situation for Yeovil maybe in this last 7 minutes. They've got to get up the pitch first of all.
We've got to commit bodies up the pitch. I mean, if we're going to go longer, we've got to have bodies up the pitch to fall on seconds and things like that, because it's very, very difficult at the moment. As we're finding, the ball just comes straight back.
Campbell didn't win his header there. He's on the chase with Inwood turning, but Boyce Clark should be able to gather that inside his box and bowls it out straight away.
I'd like to see us find a way to press a bit higher, because we've got to try and win the game from here,
or at least to draw it. Nightingale forward for Aldershot. That's a ball straight to Jake Wonnell. Not a great ball. McKenna, I don't wish to blame him for the goal, but just that central defensive unit had only been together for about 3 minutes before that goal was scored.
Yeah, there was definitely a sense of confusion, wasn't there? It was whether that be the change or whether that just be a corner, someone just switching off. There was definitely a sense of Perrott was pretty unopposed in there to dive in header and it in, so someone has either switched off or maybe a little bit of a set-up issue from the boys.
Patton's worked hard through the whole game for Aldershot through the middle.
Yeah, I think every single one of them has worked very, very hard. I mean, I'd be really interested. I'm not a GPS man, because I think it's kind of taken a bit of the flair away from football, but I would be very, very interested to see their two centre-half GPSs, because every single one of these players on the pitch for Aldershot has ran very, very hard.
Yeah, they're going to make a change here too. And Meerholz is coming off.
Yeah, he's been very good tonight. Oh no! Number 17.
It's Henry that's going off, and Matt Penny is coming on. So that's a midfielder for a midfielder, but I think he's more of a defensive-minded midfielder. Again, one of those who's coming back. And change for Yeovil, last change. So Cousin Dawson off, and Carl Ferguson on for the last 5 minutes.
I just think here we've got an opportunity to. The ball's starting from nothing, and we've committed all our players back on the halfway line already. So I think at this stage of the game, they're eating up seconds by us not being in the right positions.
Play was stopped because of a head knock, and Aldershot back in possession. And
we've got to make it harder for them to kill the game, because at the moment it's very
4 minutes plus added time. There will be more added time in this half. Here's Boyce Clark, the goalkeeper, looking to the left, hooked in by Scott Ward. Come out of his area and hooked that high up over the halfway line. But whatever Billy Rowley has tried tonight, it hasn't really come off for him, certainly in this second period. And Inwood goes back to Boyce Clark, who just thumps it out of play on the far side. He's had a couple of those tonight.
Yeah, he kicks it like an outfielder. He drives the ball. He doesn't really kick it like goalies usually have that high floaty thing, and he kicks it like an outfielder. It's adds another bit of excitement to them, because it's a bit more unpredictable, I think.
Aldershot clear the lines up to Patton, who's like glue at the top of the pitch. The ball always seems to stick whenever it gets to him. Nightingale has room on the right with Hill. Tries to drift that in towards Patton's area, but
what is it?
That's not a great bit of work from Ferguson. Aldershot turn the ball over, goes white to Cameron Hargreaves. Back to Peart, who's got Hill in support. That was Ferguson getting a poor first touch. Penny tries a low shot, which is hooked away by Yeovil. Might have been a case for foot up there. Referee didn't give it though, because Aldershot retained possession. Peart running at Daly on the right. 2.5 minutes of the 90 to go. Little round the corner ball from Penny. Hill back to Penny once more. Looks up, Yeovil not pressing the man with the ball. So Aldershot say, well, that's fine by us, and they work it wide on this right flank, and in the end it's pinched, and Sims tries to find Campbell on the halfway line, works, is crowded out on this near side, and there just is a bit more vigour about Aldershot. There has been for the whole game. Twelworks gets the sponsors man of the match for his goal, but it may not count for anything come the end of it.
To be honest, I think it's been very hard to take it off Jed Ward again. Made some really good saves, and
Campbell tries to back into Ryan Hill.
It's been it'd be very, very difficult to pick an outfielder based on today's balance of play, and this will be sort of a hard one to fathom for Billy Rowley after such a good performance against the team in the top 2 on Saturday. It's just a totally different style. And here's Kyle Ferguson with a long throw for Yeovil as we go into the 89th minute. Into the box it goes, headed away by Nightingale. Sims returns it, and there was, I think, an offside flag. I think he's given a free kick on the goal line. You think he fouled the I can't see who that is now.
It's the defender just getting to his feet, who is Scott, the left back, I think. Scored the opening goal. He's had a pretty good game throughout, the left back.
I mean, we're just letting them pass it out in the 90th minute. It seems.
Nightingale up looking for Pearce on the right. Looking for the electronic board on the far side, getting ready.
What we're saying, 3 minutes. We had a couple of injuries, haven't we? 4 minutes.
We had quite a lot of subs in this half. I think it could be more than that. I could go as many as much as 6, perhaps. Was there a player impeded there, running through the middle without the ball? As it is, it's been sent back towards the Yeovil goal. In fact, that looks like a 7.
It's a 9, a 6.
6. That's, of course, a minimum of 6. Ball forward, back to front again by Aldershot quickly. It's too far for Gandour, who's been a willing runner all evening. And Jed Ward has to drive it forward quickly for Yeovil. Headed away by Nightingale, who's had a solid game. Heart of the Aldershot defence. Daly, not much joy for him on the left in this half. Wonnell tries to drive it forward and cut out at the back by Penny just in front of his centre halves. Yeovil still have possession. McCormick wanted a free kick as he went to ground. Referee said we had the ball, so I'm prepared to keep the play going. Works into the centre circle on an arcing run. Goes to the right. Sims to Jones, who we've hardly mentioned since he came on. It's a good return ball. Can Sims cut it back? Low into the middle, and it's fired off a defender in the end. I think it may even have been Inwood who just slammed it behind. He wasn't taking any chances.
Come on, boys.
Great position for the cross, and just too many defenders in there.
Yeah. We've got to make these pay now, because we've not had many of these, not had many box entries. So there's a chance here all the time. You're playing Aldershot, there's a chance to score, I think. So,
corner from Ryan Jones.
What a great header.
Good header out from Inwood. Second ball gets to the edge of the box. Yeovil can still hang it in once more. Can Sims get a cross in? He's getting held up, and he'll want another corner, and he'll get another corner. Aldershot now, it's their turn to have bodies back, but they've left Patton upfield just to make sure that.
Yeah, they don't sway away from what they do they? It's
Yeovil cannot just pack the box and have no concession. Boyce Clark has just gathered that.
Done really well, to be fair. He's a big old lad, and
he's come through a whole pile of bodies there. He didn't look as if he was going to gather that.
It didn't look the most orthodox take in the world,
it was a bit sort of, as you say, it wasn't a textbook take at all, but he's got the ball.
Yeah, he kind of had that look on his eye as soon as he was coming for it. It didn't matter where the ball was going, he was coming for it, and he had that stance about him. He was on the front foot, and that's synonymous of where they've been today. I think all over the pitch, it was, you make your own luck in football, don't you? And they've definitely done that today.
I'll say, we did mention the first half. They are on a good run, 3 wins and a draw in the last 4, and that confidence has been evident. this evening, and it could be that both these games, both these fixtures this season, the one at the Rec and the one here, both going to go the way of the away side. There's the throw for Yeovil down the touchline. Inwood has got.
Campbell tries to roll him, then Scott is involved, and then Yeovil surely.
Yeovil have appealed for a corner. They'll get a corner. Campbell, it was tight in that area by the corner at the Thatcher's end on the right hand side. Once again, Yeovil have to leave one player back to mark Patton. Everybody else is up. Boyce Clark, the goalkeeper, peers through the bodies in front of him. It comes down and out of the box. Yeovil have got to start again from a deep position. Aldershot doing enough from the first ball. McCormick has got a runner ahead of him. Can Daly hang this back into the box? It's low and it's slid at.
Oh, he's got to score. He's got to score.
Is that
Cross are still going for another one. Look at this.
That's McGavin. And Aldershot on a break. We're 4 minutes into the minimum added 6. Gandalf's still driving forward, and he's going to force a corner at the other end. I think it's gone off him last. It's a goal kick.
I think he's got to score that. Personally, I think he's done the hard bit, and great ball across from Daly, and it would have been snatched from the jaws of defeat. But I think he's got to do more. They've shown that we've got the fight and the energies, because we're still doing it in the 90th minute. So hopefully it's not just a little too late for us.
Rochdale, of course, only got a point here on Saturday. Aldershot started the day below Yeovil in the table.
Come on, a bit of quality in the box. We've got chances.
With a chance here to leapfrog the Glovers. If they cling on to this, they'll know how important it is. We're ticking into the last of the 6.
I mean, this is where they're the way Aldershot play. You can see why they've conceded. I mean, the 94th minute, the goalie's picked up the ball and launched it forward. Every other goalie's dropping to his knees, and it's given us another chance to put the ball in the box. So fingers crossed we can put a bit of quality in that.
Aldershot holding a high line. The ball clipped in, nodded away. Works, goes across the pitch. Good ball to get a possible chance of a cross into the area. It's got to come from wide, low into the middle. Is anybody coming onto it? No. Hammered away by the red and blue. And Yeovil now have to funnel back, and it's thumped upfield by Scott, who's got a bit of cramp, I think, but he'll probably get to the end.
I think that was our last chance. It wasn't much of a ball in it, just kind of floated into nothing. And
some of the cutbacks have been promising in the last 15 minutes, but it's come a bit late.
Yeah, the last 7-8 minutes have been really exciting, and it shows that these were there for the taking if we attacked them and really actually went at them, and we didn't. We've kind of showed them an awful lot of respect today. That's 19th in the league, and we haven't pressed them. They've outran us.
Scott hammers a high ball upfield. McKenna is battling with Patton, who continues to chase. And Ward now has to hurry up, but the time has outdone Yeovil, and Aldershot have outdone Yeovil by 2-1. A brave diving header from Sean Patton in amongst the flying boots. 16 minutes from the end has won the game for the visitors. It means they go above Yeovil in the table, and for Yeovil next it's the little matter of Carlisle away on Saturday. But on balance, Josh, you have to say that the territory, box entries aren't everything, but the territory, the chances created, the shots and the saves that Jed Ward made, it's hard to grumble that Aldershot deserved to win.
Yeah, no, I can't find a I think if you're an Aldershot person, you'd feel very, very hard done by had Yeovil walked away with anything there. And I know we all look at the game through our eyes, and we're Yeovil supporters, but sometimes you have to just stand back and say today we got outran, outworked, out territory. I wouldn't even say it was outplayed, because there wasn't really much in the game. It was just kind of played forward with a purpose to play forward and put the ball in the danger area an awful lot of times, and a lot of the time at this level we chase the perfect Premier League goal. But the reality is the law of averages and the concession of territory and things like that, they have a massive say in the game, and Aldershot done that very well today, and it's a fantastic result for them coming here. That's a massive win for them, and it's a real chance missing. I just often find times there's just something missing from us at times. We just don't have that. We struggle to go through the gears when we're until our backs are really up against the wall. I'd just like to see us identifying games, probably on the pitch more than anything else, that when we need to inject a spark to kind of gain some control in games, because before you know it, games just bypass us, and it's very hard. Like we probably, on the balance of play, they've dominated us, in all honesty. We've had one notable chance on goal, which was a 25-yard worldie, really. Other than that, at home we haven't really worked the keeper at all. So
yeah, Aldershot started in overdrive and stayed there pretty much for the whole of the 90 minutes. They scored first, Ollie Scott, after 7 minutes. Terrell Works equalised for Yeovil after 25 minutes with a fine individual goal scored from the edge of the box into the top corner, but only in the second part of the first half did Yeovil really have any parity in the game. After they got to 1-1, they had a bit more territory, but in the second half again, Aldershot were the dominant force. They struck the bar just before they scored. They struck the outside of the post. Ward made two excellent saves, but he could do nothing when, following a corner, Patton hooked an effort against the bar. It bounced down, and the striker was the quickest to react, diving to head amongst the flying boots the ball low into the net. A little bit of a flurry from Yeovil at the end, but really a couple of cutbacks and stabbed efforts towards goal was as much as they could muster. Just over 3,000 here. It would have been a great point had they held on at 1-1. They couldn't do it, and it's finished. Aldershot winning here at Hewish by 2-1. Let's round up everything else from what's happened elsewhere tonight with City and Rovers with Ed Hadwin, and now Alistair Durden, who's speaking to our listeners elsewhere at the end of the City match against Wrexham.
County, who stay 6th, Wrexham 7th, Bristol City stay 9th, but only carry a point outside those playoff places as we head to Swansea Saturday lunchtime.
Yeah, that's going to be another tough game. The trip across the bridge is always tough, and it's been tough this evening, but you know, you take what you can on the night, and you know, after how tepid that was in the first half, I think we were probably quite pleased that they got something out of it in the end.
So full time here at Ashton Gate, Bristol City 2, Wrexham 2.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Plenty to chat about, plenty for you to talk about here. So give us a call. It's the usual number, 08000 855 949, if you want to have your say on the midweek match this evening. You can text me on 81333, WhatsApp me 08000 321 333, or you can use social media at BBC Bristol Sport or at BBC Somerset. A point for City. Rovers losing 2-0 at Oldham, and defeat for Yeovil at home by 2-1. So not all good news by any stretch of the imagination. Plenty of goals going in elsewhere. We'll keep you across what has happened across the evening. Let's just get a little bit of detail perhaps on our other commentary matches. We're going to start at Hewish Park, because Yeovil have been beaten by 2-1 by Aldershot, and Josh Staunton, former Yeovil defender, that is going to be it's going to sting a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it will sting in the complex of the league standings and but on the balance of play today, I don't think that we can have any arguments really. There was only one team really on the front foot from minute one, and I think we'd been seeking crimes against football if we'd have got 3 points out of that off the balance of play. And it was a really disappointing night, because Aldershot started really bright, and we never really had any sort of standing in the game, and really struggled, to be honest.
And that off the back of Saturday, where they they produced a back to the wall in the last 20 minutes, but before that, some really good stuff to cause Rochdale some problems. That's kind of the problem, isn't it? It's sort of one step forward, one step back at the moment. Yeovil haven't quite been able to build on anything all season.
Yeah, to be honest, it's easy to get yourself up for a Rochdale, isn't it? It's easy to spark some energy. It's nights like today which really matter when you're playing teams in and around you, especially when we're jostling around the bottom of the table. These have got to be the ones you look to take points off, and the most disappointing thing, there was probably only one team today what really came with the aggression and the desire to want to win a game of football from 16 seconds in when they had their first shot to the 96th minute.
And that's going to, leave them below their opponents tonight, obviously. And there's still work to be done this season, isn't there? As much as we kind of hope that, it's not going to be a problem. It's too close to call at the moment, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. There's until you get to that magic 50, there's work to be done. Do you know what I mean? And
you're welcome to come and join
we've got all the time we've got performances like that in our up our sleeve. There's we've got to be wary of what's around us, and that's why we've got to put real importance on these games, because they definitely had a real bit between their teeth today and real energy to. Look, they look like someone said that if they don't get 3 points, their family's getting kidnapped. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's the reality of how you have to play in these situations. And you look at the law of averages and statistics and things like that these days, and the amount of box entries, balls in our box they had, it was no surprise that the odd goal which won the game was a goalmouth scramble, and they had that jump to get on top of on the end of it, whereas you'd argue we probably didn't all over the pitch, and that's what's disappointing.
Josh, thank you ever so much for your company this evening. Enjoy what's left of your Tuesday evening.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. Josh Staunton, former Yeovil Town defender, on a disappointing night for the Glovers. Similarly disappointing for Bristol Rovers, beaten 2-0 at Oldham. Watching this one for us was former Rovers midfielder Lee Mansell, and looking at the stats, you'd think that Rovers dominated it, but the only one that matters is 2-0 to Oldham.
Yeah, I mean they got back into it a little bit second half. Probably had a lot. They obviously had the lion's share of possession. The second half, it's copy and paste again for me. Really, chances created, chances not taken. I think for Fabrizio Gaven for me, and it's one of those where I would love to see it again. I do think it's an easy tap-in, but he gets underneath the ball. And just as the way it's been going for Rovers, they go up the other end and then get a penalty, and Brad Young makes a top save, but no one's following it in to try and help him out and clear the danger, and the goal scorer gets a simple tap in. And as I say, they can huff and puff all they like, but ultimately there needs to be quality elements in the game to put the ball in the back of the net, and that's obviously been not just for this season, but also for last season as well. Something where they've, they haven't taken the opportunities when they've really needed them to.
And just looking at the stats, 60% possession, 35 touches inside the opposition box compared to 11 for Oldham, 20 shots, only 5 on target. Whichever way you want to cut it, that looks away from home like you've had a pretty good day, but. That's why they pay goal scorers the big bucks, isn't it? Because if you don't take those chances, and they've been porous in defence most of the season, this is what happens.
Yeah, like I said, we